Hi, I'm Blue from Hello the Future, and I was going to do Alex Day's internet meme thing where you talk about your first kiss and all of that, but before I do that, I want to talk about Steve Jobs, which is what everyone else is talking about right now, but that is okay, because that is why we are all talking about it right now. So, and then I'll get to the first kiss. Wait. So Steve Jobs changed the world. I think that we can essentially say that is a true statement. And, you know, we had Macs growing up and all of that. And it's really interesting to hear everyone talk about how their lives were changed by this particular person and his amazing ideas. It's very cool. And everyone is going around and sharing, for example, his Stanford commencement speech, in which he mentions a lot of things, honestly, and he talks about work, and he talks about love, and he talks about dreams, and there are a couple quotes which keep getting re-blogged and tweeted and tumbled and toasted, blah 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 blah, blah, yeah, on Facebook probably, that one of them being the stay hungry, stay foolish, and then the other one being the quote about how you shouldn't settle for anything that is less than your dream, whether it is work or love or life or anything, because you only get, you know, you get one shot, right? And so do not settle. And I think this is both true and difficult, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if I even need to tell you why, you probably know why, but this is why. Alright, on the one hand, we've had the video. I've shown this to you. You know, we've talked about if you want to do something, there is very little stopping you from doing it. If you want to create a Time Lord rock band, you can in fact create a Time Lord rock band, and I'm going to be covering Chameleon Circuit next week, by the way. But at the same time, alright, you have to think about this, and it's so hard not to think about this. There is this story about the world. And the story is this kid asked someone, how is the world held up? And the older person said, well, it's held up on the back of a giant turtle. And the kid says, well, alright, well, what's the turtle standing on? And the person says, well, the turtle is, and he thinks about it, the turtle is standing on top of another turtle. And then he says, well, what is this other turtle standing on? And, well, it's standing on, I guess it's standing on another turtle. And so on, and the kid keeps asking, and finally the older person says, look, it's turtles all the way down. Okay? So what I mean to say is this. Every single wonderful thing that exists, and I dare you to think of an example in which this is not true, every single wonderful thing that exists is carried on the backs of thousands of turtles, and by turtles I mean people. For example, I have a visual aid. This box of Almond Breeze, 40 calories per serving, nutritionally enhanced milk product. Alright, think for a minute how small an almond is, right? How tiny is an almond? And how many of them have to be squeezed to make almond milk to go into this box, right? How many almonds and how many almond trees, and who grows the trees, and who harvests the almonds, and who supervises the harvesters, and, you know, who puts them in the trucks, and who builds the trucks, and who designs the trucks, and who does the typography for the trucks, and who does the typography for this box, and who invented this thing, right? This was invented by someone, and who decided that the words should be soy and lactose free versus lactose and soy free. There was a committee meeting about this, I can assure you. You know, think of the ridiculous number of people who were involved in this single box of Almond Breeze almond milk. And, you know, think about the ridiculous number of people who were involved even in the face of a world that does not have enough job opportunities for all of its people. And that is a ridiculously hard problem to wrap your mind around. In conjunction with stay hungry, stay foolish, don't settle. Okay. You want to to talk about my first kiss now? I think we can do that. Alright, so these, I don't know what you can see in the frame. Can you see these? These are my journals. I kept consistent, continuous, contiguous maybe even, journals from when I was 13 till when I graduated from college, and I believe it is in this one. Oh no, I knocked over my Kaylee bear. I got this Kaylee bear when I dressed up as River for Can't Stop the Serenity to support equality now. Yay, equality now. Put the Kaylee bear back. Alright, kitties! Let's see if it is in here. Yep. It's gonna take a minute to find the Alright. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this verbatim. I have to count now which month it's 3. January, February, March. March 29, because I wrote it numerically. 3/29/97. So March 29, 1997. Oh my. And today Ian kissed me. I'll backtrack. We all went to Quincy and Ian and I held hands in the mall and got our photos taken in one of those little booths, and etc., until Ian and I were suddenly left alone in Ian's car. The rest of the group electing to ride in Karen and Sherry's car. And so Ian said, "So you've never held a guy's hand before?" And I said, "Once, but it was for a show, so it didn't count." By show, I mean for a theater performance. I was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I played Hermia, and I held the hand of the dude who played Lysander, and it didn't count. And then Ian said, "Have you ever kissed a guy before?" And I said, "No." So then Ian said, "Have you ever wanted to?" And of course I said, "Yeah." Notice I wrote "yeah" and not "yes." This is authenticity here. So Ian asked me if I wanted him to kiss me now, and I, even though I knew it was coming, just about went nuts. But I don't know how to kiss anyone. I semi-wailed. I love this. I semi-wailed with a hyphen. So Ian was like, "It's really easy. Just like this." And then Ian kissed me. And I was so dumb, I didn't even kiss back, or whatever that means. My first reaction was kind of weird. I mean, to be brutally honest, I thoroughly enjoyed the kiss. But is it considered bad form? Now, I scribbled this next part out because I was so embarrassed to write it. But is it considered bad form to have to wipe the spit off your mouth when you are done? And then Ian said, "You know, you can relax a little." "No, I can't." I said, "I am physically incapable of relaxing right now." I am pretty sure I actually said that. So then we were like, what do we do now? And I suddenly decided to see if my new lipstick was kiss-proof. So we kissed again. But it wasn't. So Ian ended up with peach frost on his lips, but he wiped it off. That was all we did in Ian's car. I also love that I specified that for future generations. That was all we did in Ian's car. I really liked being kissed. I really liked being kissed, but I don't think it should become an everyday affair. That way it will make it all the more special. The end! Now it's your turn, spread the meme.